Hello and welcome to the interview on France 24. Our guest today is Joumana Haddad, Lebanese journalist, poet, and author, one of the most daring women's rights activists in the Arab world. Her latest release, The Third Sex, a collection of ideas and personal stories in which, and I quote, she doesn't see any red flags, she doesn't hear the warnings, and she ambushes herself until she is completely naked on paper. Joumana Haddad, thank you very much for being here today with us on the show.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Joumana, in your book, The Third Sex, you created a third sex with no specific identity. Your main question was how to be a human?
Yeah, how to be a humane human being. That was the point, because after having written I Killed Shahrazad, where I explored all the injustices that women suffer from, at least in my part of the world, but everywhere. After Superman is an Arab, where I spoke about the notions of masculinity and how it should be reinvented in order to become less aggressive and violent. I thought that we should go beyond this discourse. We should go beyond. We should build on the gender notion in order to go beyond it, as a divisive factor. And not only gender, I also spoke about race, about religion, about nationalities. Yeah. So many labels are put on our forehead the minute we are born. And these are things that we haven't chosen. These are things that we simply inherited. Yeah. And many people just go on with their lives defending these things that they didn't choose. So I believe in choice. I believe in awareness.
Joumana, allow me to read an extract of your book, The Third Sex. It's a conversation between you and your demons.
Yeah.
So you say, can you prove there aren't any supernatural forces? The demons answer, I can't, but it's like asking me to prove that there are no pink elephants. Someone believes they exist, despite not having seen them. I don't. Yet, it's not my responsibility to prove their non-existence. It's rather the believer's task to prove to me they do exist. Yeah. He, she is the claimer, and I am the one who needs to be persuaded, not the other way around.
True.
Joumana, how do you think such ideas would be perceived within the present circumstances the Arab societies are going through? You know, the religious extremism, ISIL, all that.
Well, I know that there is a lot of extremism expressing itself nowadays in the Arab world. But on the other hand, there's also a lot of frustration, a lot of I notice a real desire for change. I notice that from all the feedback that I get. I know that for a fact that there are lots of people who think the same, but the difference between me and other authors and them is that they don't have the means or the possibility to express those ideas.
Why?
Maybe because of fear, because of the circumstances they are living in, maybe because they're not ready yet to say them out loud. But I know that they do exist, men and women alike.
Do you feel threatened because you say all of that?
No, I don't think about that, because if you focus on the threats and the insults, you would just be intimidated, and I refuse to be intimidated by, I call them the cowards. Yeah. Because if you're afraid to think, if you're afraid to use your critical mind, it means you're just a coward. So I just focus on the support. I get a lot of support, maybe not public, but I get a lot of support. Many people tell me that I'm their voice, or thank me for saying what they cannot say, and to me this is amazing. This is the most amazing thing a writer
you consider
can have.
That you can reach the people's mind and mentalities?
Yes, I think I do. Not because only of my books, because we all know that people don't read books as they used to do. Yeah. And many people tell me, how do you still believe in the power of the word? But the word isn't just a written word. The word is also a spoken word.
You're a blog writer too.
I'm a blog writer. Yeah. I'm very active on social media. And I'm not someone who shies away from living what she is saying. So even in my life, I am what I write. I am what I say. And this is like giving others an example. An example, I'm not saying that in a pretentious way, but I mean, when you feel that someone is saying something that would scare you, but then you feel that they basically are living that idea, you feel more encouraged to do it as well, you know?
Joumana, you are an atheist.
Why are you sad saying that?
I'm not sad. I'm just... my question is it an obstacle for you in your professional life? We know that you were banned from visiting Bahrain because of that. Can you tell us more about it?
I think it's rather the other way around. I think it's an obstacle for those who are afraid to host me because of my beliefs, my personal beliefs, or my non-belief. Regarding Bahrain, I was going there to read my poetry. I wasn't going there to debate religion, but still, they were scared. And this means that either their faith is not strong enough to be able to handle the ideas of someone who doesn't think the same, which is, I feel sorry for them, or they're really not ready to move forward in life. Because the first condition to move forward for any nation or any entity is to accept the differences of the other people around you, is to open your mind to other possibilities. But I have to say that I got so much support from many Bahrainis, and this is amazing because it proved to me that those who did that campaign were the minority, basically.
Okay, so you consider that it's a minority?
Yes.
Do you feel today that Lebanon is still the place to be for you?
No, I don't think it's the place to be for many people, not only for me. It's not. And it's very unfortunate because I resisted for so many years. I was born in 1970. I'm now 45 years old. I have lived so many things in this country. I had to go through so many bad and good experiences, and I always insisted on staying despite the fact that I had the opportunity to leave many times, because I thought that my voice would have more credibility if I was living inside the country and not criticizing from outside. But I can tell you that I'm tired, and I know that many other people are tired as well.
So you're going to leave the battle of change?
I mean, I don't believe that there is a battle of change anymore.
Even with the Arab Spring now?
It's not an Arab Spring. We should stop calling it an Arab Spring. You cannot call Spring an initiative that replaces one dictator with another form of dictatorship, which is religious extremism. There's no spring there. We still need to go through many seasons before we get to spring. To me, I cannot conceive spring as in life, as in rebirth, as in progress, linked with religious extremism.
So now you consider that the Arab Spring is no more a spring?
Yeah, I don't think it has ever been a spring. I mean, at some point during the demonstrations, I do believe that many people who went down to the streets believed in this revolution, believed in the real change. I mean, in the believed in a civil country. But again, their dreams were stolen by entities that were waiting for that moment.
Let's talk a little bit about women in the Arab societies. Do you think that the Arab Spring, this is what we call it in media, do you think that the Arab Spring affects their situation in a way or another?
Yeah, of course. It's been worse. I mean, and it's worse now. I mean, I wrote I Killed Shahrazad, where I tackled all these issues. It was published in 2010. And a few days ago, there was an article about it saying, well, this book has been published 5 years ago and still, I mean, it's still
the reality.
It still reflects the reality that we are living now, which is sadly true. I want to get to live in a world where all this discourse and talk about women's rights and women's dignity is no longer needed, because it would have become a reality, but we're still not there, and we're even we've stepped backwards.
Okay, Joumana, my last question for you. You hate taboos. You even fight.
I don't believe in
You
taboos.
fight taboos. You don't believe them. Today, if you were to choose one taboo and make it disappear from the Arab societies, what would you choose?
I would definitely say the taboo of virginity.
Okay.
You know what? Not because it is the most important, but because as long as women do not possess their bodies, they will not be efficient elements and actors in their society. And as long as they're not efficient, fully efficient, their society is not going to move forward. So.
Thank you very much, Joumana Haddad, for joining us here on France 24/7 today. Thank you all for watching this edition of The Interview. Stay tuned on France 24.